Well, hello once again. I'm the Rifter, and welcome to another Google Sheets tutorial. I hope a lot of you will be able to use this, and I know it can be confusing, but if you just follow the steps, you will be able to use this very effectively, and it is so much better than manually searching records. This tool is called VLOOKUP, and it stands for vertical lookup. And what it will allow you to do is take data from one sheet or one cell, actually a range of cells, and it will allow you to put it somewhere else. So let's say you have two different sheets, which I'm not going to switch between sheets because some people aren't great with computers and I don't want to add to the confusion. But you can take data from one sheet and make it pop up in another, especially if you have a lot of lines. Now, I usually do this with 140,000 plus cells in a column, and it actually takes Google a little bit to process this because it's a lot of records, and I do a lot of data crunching, and I mean hard data crunching. Easiest way to explain this is you have a list of names, which we're just going to pretend this is 10,000 names, email addresses, phone numbers, addresses, and so on. Well, let's say you've got, and I know these are only, wow, are these actual people? I just went on a random name generator thing and got these people, or these addresses. Anyway, this is all randomized names, and these are all randomized phone numbers, so don't call any of them. Let's say you have 10,000 rows, and it's got all this data here. So your boss gives you a list of 700 people out of 10,000 names that you need to find all this information for. Rather than using Control F or Find to go through and find all 700 of them, I'll show you how you can do it in probably about 5 minutes, because it does take a little bit of setup. But the most important part about this to get it to work is you have to have whatever you're searching in column 1. So I know you guys see that this is first name, last name, email here on the right, and then we've got email, first name, and last name. Well, that's because you may have to move a column to the front, and then you can move it back later, like you might have to click and drag and move your column over to get this to work. So I put email at the front because I'm searching emails. So here's our list of emails, and here are our records. So again, this is going to take a little bit of setup, but it's totally worth it once you get it down. Now we're going to be using something called absolute values in this tutorial, and it looks complicated. It's not. So just bear with me. So the key thing is you have to type equal, and I'm in J2 right here, equal VLOOKUP. Now this gives you the order you're supposed to put it in, so don't panic. So you want to put your search key next after this first parentheses. So your first search key is kjohnson@me.com. So click that once and you see it put A23 there. So you're going to put a comma, and now it wants the range. So it wants to know what you want to search. You can click and drag, or you can use shift and arrow keys. I usually do shift and arrow keys. But now here's the thing. This is where your absolute values come in, or static values, whatever you want to call them. Whatever your range is, you are going to have to put a $sign in front of the A, a $sign in front of the 2, a $sign in front of the H, and a $sign in front of the 21. That lets Google Sheets know that when we copy and paste this formula, it's not going to go down to A3 and I-22. It's not going to shift this. This is going to be a constant. So you could say that these $signs are constants, or They're called absolute variables or absolute references. This is a variable reference. I can't remember what the other one, I think indirect or some crap like that. But this is your variable, is your search key. You'll see in a minute. So after the range, you're going to do index. Index is important. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns in your range. That's how many columns? That's A through H. So first name is actually in the second column right here. So we want the first name to appear there. You're going to put a 2 next. That's the second column. You're going to put another comma, and then you're going to put false. If you put true, it is going to sometimes give you an approximate match. It's not going to give you an exact match. If you want an exact match, put false, which we do. We want to find exactly kjohnson@me.com. So true would be good if there are a lot of misspelled emails, and it will get you something close, and then you can find the record and look at it and see if it's the right one or if it's just a misspelling. We're going to assume everything is right just to make this easier on us. So close your parentheses, press enter. Look at that. kjohnson@me.com. First name is Johan. There it is right there. This is the easier part. You can kind of go with the setup, but copy that, paste it over. It gives you an NA, but don't panic. What it's done is it's changed this to B23, and that's fine. It's moved it over one because we moved over one here to the right. All you have to do is change that to A23 again. And for last name, that is in the third column up here. So we're going to change to A23 and put 3 here. Enter. There we go. Johan Matthews. And we're going to do the same thing across the board. It says C23. We're going to go back to A. And then email address is actually in column 1. So we're going to put a 1 here. Again, it's real easy. Column 1, column 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So after we fix that and put column 1, press enter, there's the email address. And you just keep doing this across the board. And I'm doing it like that because it's quicker. But what you're going to do is change all of these to A23. And the reason I'm doing the first row, you'll see here in just a minute. And I know it says Johan, but hopefully you'll see what I'm doing in just a minute. All right, now that I've changed all the search keys, we're going to go to, let's see, phone number is in column 4. Address is in column 5. City is in 6. State is in 7. And then zip code is in 8. So the cool part about this is you can select this entire top row, copy it, and Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, or you can do this and it'll paste it all the way down. So you do have that option too. We'll delete that. But if you want, you can select, I didn't count them, but do that and press Control V and it will automatically shift your values down. And again, I'll show you why. So you've got A23, and we changed all of these on the top row to A23 so it knows to stay right here. Now when you paste down, you'll see it automatically goes to A24. You paste there, it goes to A25, 26, 27, 28. And again, that's why I said Your search range should always have these $A, $2, or $column, $row. That just tells it you don't want to increment the column or the row. So if I took the 2 out, it would start incrementing the rows. Or if I took the $ out from in front of the 2, it would start incrementing these rows in my results. Sounds confusing, but once you use it once and you kind of mess with it and see where your errors lie and why it's kind of wonky, it will make sense. I use this a lot to check a giant database of 140,000 people for duplicates before we add new people to it. So I will find whatever search key. I'll have 2 big lists. I'll have probably 8,000 people, and then I'll have 143,000 people to compare it against. And it takes maybe 10 or 20 minutes versus a few days of manually checking everything and pressing Control F. So there's several different ways you can use this, but mainly VLOOKUP is to transpose a value from one cell to another. That's the easiest way I can show you how to use it. I'm trying to think of more real-world instances where you would use this. You can use it on several thousand names and you're trying to figure out, you have a list of names to pull out of it, but you don't want to search them all. I mean, you let Google Sheets do the searching for you. Well, anyway, again, I'm the Rifter. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps you out at your job, because that's probably what most people are going to use it for. And if I hadn't learned this a while ago, I would be so lost and I would not be able to do my job properly. But VLOOKUP is probably one of the most powerful tools in Google Sheets. And I know if-then statements are very powerful. There's a lot of different formulas that are powerful, but for my job and for data crunching and data rearranging, VLOOKUP is the single handiest thing that I use. It makes my job so much easier. And again, I'm the Rifter. Hope this made sense. I hope you like it. Definitely remember to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.